Good afternoon, everybody. You know, this is not a rimfire. It's actually an air rifle. And I was out here in the shop cleaning it up, and I thought, hey, I'd show you guys what it's all about. It's a first generation Weihrauch HW80. Weihrauchs have an interesting history from Germany. And every bit as equal and build-wise to high quality firearm like a CZ or an Anschutz or something like that, Walther. All wood and steel, high polished steel, of course. This particular one is in beech, has beautiful hand cut checkering on it, nice cheek piece, rubber butt pad. There you can see the stamping right there. This has kind of an interesting story behind it, because back in the day when air rifles, actually it's still to this day, people get caught up on power, and so this was Weihrauch's first Magnum Springer air rifle. I say Magnum because it was built to, go 1,000 feet per second, or, depending on the foot-pounds of your pellet weight, that would be different, but this is considered in its day to be a very, very powerful, fast spring air rifle. For those who shoot a lot of air rifles, speed doesn't matter, it's more accuracy that matters. If you got a slightly slower air gun and you can put that pellet time after time where you want it, that's more ideal than power. Having both is a different story, but for the most power, I will take accuracy over power any day. With power in a Springer comes a trade-off, which is cocking effort. This one has about a 50-pound cocking effort, and it actually is 50 pounds. I don't find it hard to shoot it or cock it or use it. However, being that it's designed as a hunting air rifle, you're not cocking it super often. To shoot it from the bench for targets, it's a little bit much for what I would like it for. It's too heavy for target work. Now, it's highly accurate out to 50, even 75 meters. I have turned in half-inch groups at 50 with this, pretty regular. It likes this particular one likes heavy H&N pellets, although that seems to be a little bit unusual for most things I've read. Most folks get better results from the mid-weight pellets from it. They shoot okay in it, but I found the I want to say it's the 10.2 grain H&N. I can't remember now. They shoot really well in it. It has a fully adjustable, what Weihrauch calls a record trigger, and in the airgun world, this is quite well regarded. Probably the best overall adjustable trigger on a factory gun, and this one is excellent. They can compete with any sort of high quality rimfire, and you can play with them, polish them, and get them down to pretty low weights and very crisp let offs. And this is no slouch, this one. The downside to a gun like this, I mentioned the cocking effort being one. The second one is, a lot of people don't understand unless you're an airgun shooter, but inside this you have a large coil spring and quite a large heavy steel piston. And so when you cock this and it retracts the spring and the piston, and you pull the trigger, it slams forward, the opposite of how a firearm works and backwards. So basically there's a steel weight flying forward at immense power and speed, and that is very hard on scope and mounts. And so you'll see things like one-piece mounts on a high-quality air rifle or high Magnum air rifle, let's say, one-piece mount with a stop pin that goes into the receiver to stop recoil, heavy clamps to hold it down, and of course you'll have a scope that's rated for this dual recoil, this way and that way, unlike a firearm, which is just this way. So this gun, being just an air rifle, is harder on scopes than something like a 338 Lapua. Believe it or not, it's true. For those of you who know, you know that, but a lot of folks don't understand that one. This was actually a low price scope because this rifle is a scope eater. I don't know how many scopes I've been through on it, and just twist reticle sideways and lose zero, and so I ended up finding in this one, it's made by Air Venturi, and it's a low-cost scope 3x9, but it's touted as being able to be, well, it's made specially reinforced and to be able to handle the dual recoil, and it's held up quite well. Just a 3x9 is, I like a 4-12 on this, but actually I think they make one, but I think this was the only one I could find at the time. It's actually quite a nice little scope. The glass isn't bad. Nice little finger turrets on it. Capped, mil-dot reticle, adjustable ejective up here. It's quite nice for what it is. The cool thing about these guns is, like I think I mentioned, it weighs about 10 pounds, and you can see from the construction that they did not spare any expense for machining or thickness, or it's just, you know, very, very well made. And the tube thickness itself is very thick, and the quality overall is just wonderful. Again, it's not much of a target gun, and I'm not a hunter, so I don't shoot it as much as you know, somebody who would hunt with it. Like I said, from the bench, it's tedious to shoot sometimes. And my oldest son, who comes out with me, can barely cock it for more than a couple shots. He's 14, because it is tough. But otherwise, it's just a wonderful gun. I recently rebuilt it. New spring, new piston seal, new breech seal, and I changed all the stock washers just because they were showing their age from being tightened over the years. And to clean them all up, you can still find parts for it. They're readily supported, and you can actually, it's quite an aftermarket for this gun, so you could put all sorts of hopped up springs in it, and more powerful and even lower if you wanted to. And they put titanium sleeves in them, and they do all crazy things, just like any sort of custom world. It's actually, a lot of the cool stuff comes out of the UK, because in Canada here, any air rifle that shoots over 500 feet per second is considered a firearm. So this pellet rifle, even though it's an air gun and it shoots full power, about, let's say, 1,000 feet per second, I need a firearms license to own it. In the States, not so much. You don't need, as far as I know, a license of any kind for an air gun. Just have to be probably of age of 18 or whatever. But here in Canada, over 500 feet per second, you need a license. Under 500 feet per second, you just need to be over 18. I think in the UK it's different. It's they go by foot-pounds. So in 177, it has to be below 12 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle. And so this one being 177, quick off the top of my head, based on pellet, I would say this is maybe a 15, 17 foot-pound air rifle. So this you would need a firearms license in England for. Perhaps in different calibers, lower feet per second, it would make it, but I'm pretty sure all of these are over the mark in England. So, and in other parts of the world. So anyway, back to what I was saying, there's a lot of cool stuff that comes out of England, where they have so many different organizations and, you know, things that do air rifle events. So cool, so wild, that a lot of the aftermarket stuff for Weihrauchs and the higher end names come from there. So it's fully supported, and you can get setback triggers for them. You know, with here, the adjustment screw is at the back, which is a little bit strange, and it's quite out there. So I think there's a couple of companies in England where you can customize it, set your trigger back, and make that go in set more, and the brass trigger guards and all sorts of cool stuff. But this one's totally stock. When I rebuilt it, I put in a stock spring from Weihrauch and stock piston, and you know, I didn't hop it up. It's so beautiful and it runs so well that I just wanted to keep it stock. So anyway, I thought I'd share with you guys a cool air rifle that I obviously normally share rimfires, but I just wanted to show what a beautiful air rifle this is, and they still make them, so you can still get them. So if you're in the market for an air rifle, this would be a good choice for a hunter. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Have a great one.